Everybody, welcome back to the channel of Hot Rods and Houses. Wanted to give you another update for gunmetal. I'm super excited to kind of give this news to you guys. I've been waiting quite some time. You know, I was really at a rock and a hard place on what I was going to do with this car. Was I going to upgrade it? Was I going to keep it stock? What was I actually going to do with this thing, right? So I wanted to do very tasteful, simple mods on this car, and I still am not entirely sure where I'm going from here. But I'd like to get some feedback from you guys once I tell you what this car did, because it's pretty astounding just on bolt-ons what this car can do. Shocked, that's all I can say. I mean, the car went in baseline with just a standard rotofab intake and an MPP Corsa exhaust and X-pipe. We'll just average it around somewhere around 540, probably 545. And then the torque was around 512, 520, I think, something around there. I'll put the dyno graph on the screen here in just a minute. But once we installed pretty much the headers, the bolt-on stuff, so the bigger big gulp, right, the bigger rotofab big gulp, the 2-inch headers with connecting pipes. Remember, the Cooks, designed by CSP. Awesome fitment, by the way. And then we did the expansion tank, which helps the supercharger with a little bit more coolant, keep it a little bit cooler. Is it drastic? Probably not. But in Texas, any cooling I can get, that's pretty simple to mod, which I did a video on that, so you guys can check that out. Real easy to do. I mean, really easy to do. GM should have done it from the very get-go. And then there's the E, right? E-85. I did the flex fuel sensor from Advanced Fuel Dynamics. Those guys have an awesome kit. I mean, if you want to do the P3 gauge and you want to do all those other stuff with the DSX, totally understand. It's, you know, you can go that route, whatever you wanted to do. I wanted to keep my interior as clean as possible. I didn't want gauges everywhere. I didn't want all that crap. I mean, the P3 is clean, don't get me wrong. But, you know, another $650 on top of another kit and everything. I mean, it was starting to get up there about $1,000 plus. I was just like, man, not a big deal. I mean, I can afford it, sure, but you know, I'm sitting here trying to make it as clean as possible, convenient as possible at the same time. And so what I did with Advanced Fuel Dynamics is they have a flex link that I'm going to be doing an overview of all of these things here in just a minute. But it's really awesome. It Bluetooths to your phone. You can see it in real time. You know, the biggest thing with E85 is that obviously the car can do E85. It can. It's just, it has to be activated by a tuner. So, you know, once you put the flex link in there, or you put the flex fuel kit in there, whatever you do, the car is just, okay, I'm ready. That's it. It's not a big deal. But I was very shocked on what this car could actually handle with just these bolt-ons. Again, we're not doing a lot with the boost, so that I do understand. Once you start messing with boost and that kind of stuff, E85 just starts, you know, just going down the toilet of how much you can actually put in your car. Some cars can do 30, some can do 50, 70, 100%. Really just depends on what your car can handle. Mine was able to handle 70% E. So a drastic number difference. It was pretty insane. So just kind of out the rip, you know, baseline was around 540 horsepower and maybe 520 torque, somewhere in there. So not bad for just very minor, lightly modded, non-tuned bolt-ons, right? Then we tuned it on 93 and the car went to 577, we'll just say about 580 maybe. And again, this was at 100 and something degrees outside here in Houston. It's always just such a, you know, fighting heat. That's all you do out here. And like 610, I think, torque. So the torque jumped almost 100 foot-pounds of torque by putting on just the headers and the tune and the big gulp intake. That's not E at all. So I was like, whoa, that made a difference. Okay, that's cool. And again, on the butt dyno and on the butt feel of the car, it's definitely, you can feel it, right? And then comes the E, and the E woke this car up like crazy. It was able to get up 632 horsepower and 650 foot-pounds of torque. So it gained huge in the horsepower range, and it gave me a little bit more torque. ridiculously loud. No cats and the 2-inch headers. I mean, this car sounds amazing. Loud as hell. God, that's loud. Yeah, that's right. Woo! But I cannot believe just these small bolt-ons, these simple bolt-ons I did in my garage, woke this car up this much. And I'm telling you guys, you can feel this. You can feel this. So here is gunmetal after, you know, coming back from LMR, which again, if you guys are not familiar with late model racecraft out here in Houston, there's their logo right there on the front of the bumper. But these guys, if you've been following them, you know they do amazing work. They do street speed 717s, Corvettes. They build some insane horsepower LT builds, whether it's LT1, LT4. They do exotics. They do a little bit of everything. But again, did the bigger gulp intake here, or the big Rotofab big gulp intake right here, this expansion tank, which again I did the video on that. Headers, you know, a little bit harder to see down there, but they're down there for sure. Then we did the Mighty Mouse catch can, which I did the video on that. You guys can follow that along down there. And then of course, the flex link right here, or the flex fuel sensor that comes down through there, you know, wired up around and inside the car. And like I said, guys, we're talking what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgrades. Not that bad. I mean, we're looking, I mean, I sold my standard Rotofab. So this was $500, $330 for the headers, and the non-catted connecting pipes was like $17. Mighty Mouse catch can around $400, $450, and then the flex link right here. Again, that Bluetooth to your phone. Don't need a gauge. You just pull it right up on your phone, and it will link straight to it. $400. And then of course a tune. That's all you need to make pretty much around 750 crank horsepower out the rip. But I will tell you guys, this has changed this car, to me, I believe, for the better. Everybody knows where I'm at and knows when I'm coming. There is no doubt about that. So that's her and all that she has. So coming up in the next video, we're going to be doing a ride along, a review of the exhaust, before, after. Curious to do that. I'll do that video with you guys here soon, but I wanted to make sure I got out here again. I'm going to pop that dyno graph up here on the screen so you can see it one more time. And hopefully, I'm waiting for LMR to shoot over the dyno videos of it actually making this power and going through that process and all that kind of good stuff, so I can upload that to you guys as well. Keep you guys updated. Hopefully I'll have a lot of that for you soon. But until the next video, guys, be good, stay safe out there. Peace.